A new Motogp mod has dropped on GP bikes. Today's objective is to find out if it's any good. Most importantly, is it realistic? So here we are in a public lobby with the Motogp 25 bike, and of course we've gone as Mr. Motogp at the moment, Mark Marquez. We are on the 25 livery on the 24 bike, so still not technically the 25 bike yet, but I'm sure in time we will get some updates to the mod and stuff. But one thing I have noticed, I've done a couple laps here just to kind of understand it. Obviously I'm a million miles off at the moment, but it's a lot very similar to the previous iterations. Motogp 24, his previous mods, so it's not a million miles off. If you played one of them or a few of them before, you will know the mod is very much the same. I did look before I came in here what the outright fastest lap at Phillip Island is, as that would be something I'd try and maybe get. Fastest ever lap around here is a 27.2 by Jorge Martin on this exact bike, the 24 Ducati in Phillip Island's race that just went at the end of last year. So it looks like the mod is way too fast, and you've probably known for quite a while I'm not been a huge fan of the Motogp mods on this game, and with the kind of iteration of this mod, it feels like a lot of the issues that I have with it are still there. So brakes are still a mystery of how they work. They feel incredibly weak in terms of stopping power, but they are incredibly sensitive that you can't really, the bike just jumps around and dances on the braking. So I'm interested to see when I actually get up to speed what sort of lap I can do. But the bike does hold the line really well, so it feels just feels so fast. It feels ridiculously fast, probably too fast to be honest. I'm going to be quite interestingly, I'm going to look through, see can I find a fast lap of on board in real life with some telemetry and see what we're doing through, for example, stoners. 160 miles an hour through stoners. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I think that sounds a bit too fast for me. And like you just see, look, how have I ended out this far off the track? It could be the fact that we're taking so much more speed through the corners that the brakes are not adequate for that, but it feels so weak. But then again, if you really squeeze them, the bike just does stoppies and it dances. So it's it was a bit weird for me, the feeling and sensation. It's one of the issues I had with this pack always, especially the 24 and stuff. The brakes were just, they just feel like non-existent. So it's unfortunate that the 25 one is quite the same. But again, it's very much the same with the 24. So if you do like the 24, it will be something you will enjoy. So I'm going to try this lap now not to crash, obviously. I'm going to go for hopefully a fast lap. Even that lap with a crash, a 1 minute 30, or well, running off the track, shall we say, a 30.1 is what we did. So we're not even that far off the lap record, even with running off. So I will just say that this mod, I'd say, is a bit too fast, which is unfortunate, as any kind of chances of trying to get close to the real life lap records are near impossible when the bike is that much faster. But really broke early there and rolled off really early in stoner. So Siberia again, no, I just didn't have the brain power to kind of coast in like you probably have to on this mod a bit more. And one thing I usually do if I do ride these, so of course I have ridden these in the past, the previous iteration, obviously the 24 pack, I usually run quite a high and aggressive engine braking to kind of counteract the fact that the brakes don't really do much. So we'll see. At this track it's probably not great to do that, as you spend a lot of time on the edge of the tyre. You don't want really aggressive engine braking. Conor Ross Lane at 24.6, so we are head and shoulders under the lap record, and that was not a fast lap by any means by me. And we're in power 2 only, which is kind of like the race fuel, we'll say. There's 4 power maps: a wet one, a kind of end of race one, we'll say, a kind of start of race one, and then you have an all-out qualifying one. So at the moment I think there's just a few inaccuracies with the bike. It's being far too fast, and again through here 170 miles an hour. I'm really interested to see what is the real speed through there. I think 170 is a bit excessive. One thing I have noticed, feels like there's more rear grip. The bike drives out of the corner ridiculously good. Now we are on soft tires, so maybe that is just because the default setup comes with soft tires, but even compared to what my memory of the 24 is, this is very easy to ride and it's very fast. At the moment it's not really for me, this mod, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit too, I'd probably say, arcadey, and I really don't like the brakes on it. One positive thing though I will say is that I remember last time I played the 24, it was the Aprilia at Catalunya. I did that sprint race where I joined that championship for one of the final rounds, and I remember the front end being really weak if you did brake quite hard, and that feels a lot better on this. But 24 is 0, so we're about 3 and a bit seconds under the lap record. So I'd fear to actually see what would happen if I really pushed for a lap, because I'm just trying to keep myself on the track at the moment here. I'm not really giving it too much of a push, and we're 3.2 seconds under. It just shows that for me the bike is far too fast in the corners. So we're going to do a bit of little science to see how much faster it is in the corners, because through here 167 miles an hour, and I have made it through the corner cleanly and got it stopped. So I'm going to go find and see. Basically it's just left-hander. We're going to look for a Marquez on board on the Ducati, and we might even have a look at a Pecco on board if we can get one. See how much faster we're going through stoners than in real life. So we are on board here now with myself in the basically my last lap to 24.0. We're going to go into a couple of corners. First one being turn 1. We're about there with Martin. I think we're a bit further in the corner. We're back on the power with Martin. So I'm doing 120 miles an hour. Jorge Martin is doing. He's slightly further in the corner for me. So I will put a still on screen of what I'm looking at of a Martin. And to be fair, right, 202 kilometers is 120 miles an hour. So we're almost at the same speed through turn 1. So in fairness, that's fairly good. So we're going to try now stoners. That's the big one for me, is stoners. I think stoners is going to be way out of proportion. So as you can see, Jorge Martin is doing 222 kilometers, which translates to 137 miles an hour. I'm braking and I'm at 157, and even if we go back a bit further, I actually take more speed. It's just at this point I'm trying to basically rotate the bike, so I'm just off the throttle slightly. So we're 20 miles an hour faster. So one more I'm going to look at is through the hay shed, because I know the hay shed is a real fast change of direction. You throw the bike in. So we're going to have a quick look at that one and see how much faster or slower we're going. So again, roughly maybe slightly later in the corner for me. Again, it's quite hard to get it quite spot on as the camera angle is slightly different, but the speed difference is again quite a bit. It's 11 miles an hour. Of course, this is the game, so it is slightly different, but 20 miles an hour through stoners faster, 11 miles an hour through the hay shed faster. That's quite a margin to be not much quicker. So that's clearly where the lap times come from, is through these corners, because on the brakes the bike is terrible for me. It's all through the corners, so it's really rolling through them corners so much faster. So I've changed some of the ECU settings, and I've changed the fuel mapping to high. So we're on power 1 now, which is the qualifying one, and we're going to go for an actual push lap, see how far under the record I can go. I have changed the engine brake, and it does feel a bit nicer. The bike doesn't push as much, so maybe some of the braking is feeling terrible just because of the engine braking sits so high. It feels a bit better here now, but already it feels like to me the bike is just far too fast, and we've so much rear grip that you can just get on the power and it just accelerates away. It's not a bike that I would say is very good for showing off skill gap, because it feels like you just pin it. I suppose you could argue maybe modern day GP is a bit easier. Obviously it's not that easy, but it is a bit easier than what we're probably used to. So again, the rear end just has its typical handbrake turn when you turn in on the manual mod. So unfortunately that lap is gone, but I reckon we'll be somewhere down into the 23s, a 22 maybe. I'm not too sure if we can get the most out of this package with so little time on it, but we'll definitely go a bit quicker doing a 24. One thing I have noticed now, just by changing the engine braking, that the bike does slow down a lot nicer, but on the edge of the tyre now it's so much more on edge, because the rear just wants to basically come around on you all the time. So I kind of wish that the gaps between each engine braking step were a little bit maybe closer together, because it feels like between 7 and 8 there's a huge jump in performance. So yeah, that's one thing maybe I'd like to see change going forward. Happened to brake so early in turn 1 just because of how fast the bike is. We'll finally have made it through turn 1. A bit deep in 2, but this bike's extreme lean angle can pull it back around nicely. Real test of how fast we can go through stoners. Oh, that's so fast. To what is now Miller's. Siberia got all wrong on our fastest lap currently, so that should be a bit better. Just as soon as you get off the brake, the bike just leans in so much more. The extra engine braking makes the bike a bit more nervous, but definitely faster in my hands. I feel this could be probably a 22 if get it to line without losing it in the last sector. So I have zero confidence in slowing it down though, because the brakes are just a mystery to me. just pick the throttle up so early. Doesn't spin, doesn't wheelie. And last corner, let's not lose it now. Up to line, in quality sim, what can we do? A 1 minute, 23.9. So we didn't actually go much faster, believe it or not. So actually, I'm a little bit surprised because that lap felt so on edge. Maybe it was too on edge, I suppose that could be the issue, that I was making too many mistakes. But there's definitely more time in it, but 23 around here is a little bit ridiculous in terms of speed, and I by no means play these particular mods, the GP mods, a lot, so I wouldn't be that fast on them. So someone who's actually decent at the game, you could argue, there's probably a lot more time in it. So unfortunately the mod is far too quick, but at the end of the day, it is a game, it is a mod, so if you enjoy it, it's all kind of what it's there for. But again, we're going to leave it there. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below whether you are enjoying or not enjoying this mod, and let me know your opinions on it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let's see how it goes over the next couple of updates on this mod. Let's see what gets tweaked, because there could be a good mod in there if a few things are maybe just brought back to a bit more realistic side of it. But for now, it's an okay mod, a little bit too unrealistic for my liking and too easy to try. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in a future GP Bikes video. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill.